Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. We are having some minor technical difficulties. I moved some things around here in the room, and I am trying to make adjustments on the fly as I go live for this impromptu live stream that I am super pumped about. And I will tell you, in this live stream, I'm going to show you guys a major key that literally just showed up at my doorstep. I missed this thing yesterday. I was here in the comic book room actually working, doing real work, and it was attempted to be delivered. I did not hear it. The guy came back today. I was literally had my face pressed against the glass waiting for him to show up. There's a note on the door. There's the signed thing on the door like, bro, do not leave this area with that book. And so he came back, he delivered it. And then I'm basically going to show you guys this book that I picked up. And then I'm also going to make an announcement as well. And I know that this is early for some people, especially those that are on the West Coast right now. But I definitely appreciate you guys jumping in here, and thanks to all those that are able to watch this thing back on replay. It's good to see you guys. I'm scrolling through some of the names here, and there's a lot of familiar faces and names and a couple of new names that I'm seeing up in there. So welcome to all of you guys. Shout out to all the Patreon members who I had a little bit of a conversation with this morning. I posted some things to the Patreon page, giving those folks some notice on some stuff. They don't know about this book. But they have, as always, been given advance notice and previews of things that I'm actually working on. And I mention this because some of the Patreon members are here. So we're going to open this thing up. And I actually purchased this book right here from Reese's Comics. I have made a couple of purchases from Reese's Comics. They always take care of me. Just a good virtual comic shop. I had a chance to meet these guys face to face at WonderCon a couple of years ago. CGC gave me an introduction to them, and I've had occasion to buy a couple of books from them over the years, including my Fantastic Four issue #1 was purchased from these guys. So I'm going to open this thing up and show you guys what it is that I scored from Reese's. And I apologize. I should have opened this stuff up earlier. But here we are, and we have peanuts. So I'm not terribly excited about that. Reese's Comics, if you guys are watching, we don't like the peanuts. But let me get this thing open and I will show you guys what it is that I managed to pick up. And there we go. I don't think you saw that. I don't think you saw it. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff right here. Oh, all right. So this is cool. Let me drink this in. Let me drink this in for a second here, people. Let me drink it in. And pretty cool. I don't know all the camera angles in this room, so I have to be careful. Let me scroll down. What is that? What's your weakness? Mine is as ASM and Moon Knight. That's what's up, Mark. I definitely appreciate that. Is just a little podcast. How you doing, brother? This dude reached out to me yesterday, man. I still haven't had a chance to listen to that podcast, but I am going to reach to watch it. He reached out to me yesterday to give me a heads up on some interesting stuff that I may talk about here at some point. But shout out to you guys. I definitely appreciate that. All right. So what is it? What is this? Hold on. Let me flip sides to widen the view. So all right. So when I show this book, there's probably going to be nobody that is surprised about what this book is, especially if you actually follow me on Instagram and you kind of pay attention to what it is that I put up there and also on my website, regiecollects.com. You're not going to be terribly surprised by this right here. We went ahead and scored another copy of ASM issue #1. A 3.0. And this, I think, is a pretty nice copy. We have one little piece that's missing out of the corner there, but this one is a blue label. It is a 3.0 blue label, and it is a really cool book. It is a cool book that I don't know if it was cleaned. It looks like it was pressed. Maybe. I need to look at this under some different lights, but it may have been clean, just not a book that could come clean. But we have a 3.0 ASM in the collection right now, and a really, really cool moment right there. So let me look at the things. There we go. A couple of people saying congrats. Definitely appreciate that. And again, some people really aren't going to be surprised because a lot of folks know about this one. This is the raw book that I ended up purchasing a couple of years ago. Finally sent it in to CGC. It came back at a 2.0 restored. And I picked this book up when I was still learning about grading, still trying to figure out what to look for, and honestly made a mistake, made a mistake, bought a book that had some stuff going on with it that I didn't fully appreciate. I mean, I bought it online, so I didn't examine it in person, and may have made some mistakes, right? It is what it is. We are here now. We have a nice copy that is restored, but more importantly, we have a really awesome copy that is not restored that is going to be in the collection until it gets upgraded. I don't know. We may upgrade it. We may get super frisky. And just do big things. But this is a really cool book. And to answer someone's question, Spider-Man is my favorite character. ASM is my favorite title. I own every ASM that is out there. Not all the variants. I don't get all funny with the variants. I focus on cover A, and if I get other covers, great. But I basically own every ASM that's out there. And this is just a book that I've really wanted in the collection, and as high a grade as I can possibly afford, without sacrificing like food for children and all that good stuff. So really cool book. Shout out to the folks at Reese's Comics for putting me in a good place to be able to snag that book and add it to the collection. So there you go. That is the thing. One other thing, well, a couple other things I'll say before I get to the announcement. This book is still up for grabs. This is the Moon Knight issue, number 21 and 9.8 with white pages. This book was awarded to someone on Sunday night. That person still has not claimed the book. They have until this Sunday night to send me the email to Regie at regiecollects.com to claim that book, and I will bundle it up and send it off to that person. And then this is the book that is going to be given away this week. This is New Gods, issue number 1 and 8.0. Both of these books are being sponsored by the folks at GoCollect. So pay attention to the videos that come out from the channel over the course of this week. And in one of those videos is a phrase that you need to be able to win this book right here. All right. So let me go to the chat. Rylan, how you doing, brother? He says, much love, brother. I enjoy your videos and live vicariously through your collection, and you have helped me helped revitalize my love for weightlifting and collecting. My wife doesn't mind. I am not going to guess what it is that your wife has a problem with. I will simply say, never start a sentence with Regie told me. Never started with that. Regie said, Regie told me, Regie suggested. None of that stuff. That does not go over well with wives. It gives you no cover. My man, no cover at all. Mark says, congrats, going to give away the 2.0. I am going to give it away to a person that provides me with a nice stack of cash. Yes, I'm going to bundle it up and give it right away to that person. That book, the 2.0, is actually available right now on regiecollects.com for sale. I have a price on it that is meaningful to me. And if we are able to hit or come close to that price, then that book may go. And if not, I will hold on to it and just let the blue labels go up in value, which will hopefully pull up the purple label. And at some point, the purple label will be sold for a price that actually makes sense. Who is that? Ariel says, congrats. Still waiting on 20 books to be graded and another 25 books to be logged. Brother, I have 150 over there, my man. 150 was when I stopped counting. So I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I'm trying to resist. I'm trying to resist hitting the refresh button on the CGC website. I was of the belief that, hey, they made this major update. Maybe the update is that my books are ready. So the day after the update, I'm like, I'm about to score. I hit the button and no, nothing happened. Never say this. Never say this. I cannot help you at all. Wife only listens to me. Your wife is a different situation. Your wife she wears Regie Collect shirts. So she's on board. She's down with the Gibbon gang and the Comic SWOLDIER. So she's on board. That's a different thing. Otherwise, no, 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 no. Otherwise, no, no. You don't want to lead with that. My day is going well so far, man. I was up pretty early this morning. I did some work. And I'm about to get back to work here in a minute, but I did some work, so making some progress on that, which is good. I'm actually feeling better after all of the food poisoning stuff. I mean, I'm still struggling just a little bit with some things, but I'm actually doing a whole lot better. And I'm actually willing to take you up on this, man. You know, I'm willing to take you up on this. Turok 1 is a highly prized, treasured comic that is comparable. It is comparable to an ASM issue number 1 Restore 2.0, comparable the whole way around, no doubt about that one. So the unboxing is basically done, brother. It is basically done. We've made tremendous progress with the unboxing. I actually think I talked about some of this on Sunday show, so you may want to check that out, but we've made a tremendous amount of progress with getting everything all packed up. So what is this, man? How do you do it all? How do you do all that you do? Do you slow time? Well, you know what's cool, man, is that somebody actually made a recommendation the other day that I do another video on how it is that I balance out all the things that I do in my life. And I recorded that video last night. I was still a little sick and I was sweating profusely. I recorded the video last night, and I tried to infuse in the video anecdotal stories on how I have found balance. So I'm making suggestions, but then I'm also trying to infuse some anecdotal stories in there that may help. And no, I don't stop time. No, there are not clones of me or any of that other stuff. I prioritize like nobody's business, and I shift priorities dependent upon the day or whatever is going on. So again, for those folks that are coming in a little bit late, we scored a pretty awesome book, ASM issue number 1, a 3.0 blue label book right there. Picked it up from the guys over at Reese's Comics. Austin always takes care of me. Really awesome guy, great customer service. And I bought a couple of big books from them. And I enjoy working with them. They're a trusted resource. I think their prices are fair. And for me, that is a huge win. All right. So one other thing that I wanted to announce to you guys. And I've struggled with making this announcement, even though it's only happened in the last 3 days. I've struggled with making this announcement because there are some other things that are still in flux right now that I wanted to have settled before I did this other thing, right? Before I did anything else. But sometimes when opportunities present themselves, you have to seize those opportunities. You can't wait for the ideal time to do it, or what you think might be the ideal time. When something presents itself, you actually do it. So recently, you guys know I spoke about Slow City Blues, and Slow City Blues is an independent project that a writer and an inker are teaming up to bring to life. And it is like Roger Rabbit, kind of crazy off the wall stuff, right? It's that kind of quirky type of comic that I do believe is now going to be developed into an animated series. And when I did my announcement around this thing, I was kind of having fun and pontificating that it was a crazy off the wall thing that could be developed into a movie. And then I think like 2 days later or something like that, they announced that they were actually turning it into an animated series. So I honestly did not have any advance notice. I was just riffing. But what's happened is the folks that are doing the fundraiser for Slow City Blues, I've been talking with the inker and the writer a lot because of the fact that I helped raise some attention for them. And even before that, as we led into this thing for weeks and possibly even like 2 months or so, we were talking. They came to me and asked me if I would be willing to sponsor a variant cover. And again, because I have the gung-ho stuff still hanging out there, I was hesitant to actually do it. But it's hard to say no when you're into indies, you're into someone living their dream, and you want to support those things. You can't necessarily say, no, let me hold off for an ideal time, whatever the heck that means. So I am doing the variant. I've already basically paid for the thing. I've already committed to the thing. These guys are aggressively getting the word out about what it is that they're doing. And so I want to try to tell you guys about it before it actually comes out in a news article or in one of the other interviews that they happen to be doing that I am sponsoring this variant. So let me go ahead and share this variant with you guys so that you can see what it actually looks like. And because this was like something that was not planned, I actually did not commission the artwork. I didn't commission the artwork. This is something that they already had in the can. They showed it to me and I was like, okay, let's do that one. They had like a couple and I was like, let's do that one. So this is what the cover is. So it is a Slow City Blues issue #1. This is the main character, John. And John is clearly a rough and tumble kind of guy with the crowbar in his hand. But this cover was actually done by Pat Olaf. I think that's how you say his name, Pat Olaf. And he is a seasoned veteran. You guys may know him from like Squirrel Girl. I think he did a lot of Squirrel Girl stuff. He's worked for both Marvel and DC and other publishers because of his relationship with John, the inker, who helped like ink all of the issues. He went ahead and did this cover for them. So this is the cover that I'm actually sponsoring. And we decided to do something a little bit sexy with this one. We decided to do something fun with this. You guys know me. You guys know that I like foil. You know, I like some foil from the 90s because I'm a 90s guy. So that fence that is behind him, we're actually going to make that fence into shiny foil. So hopefully the main character there, John, will actually pop off of the background because of the shiny foil that we're doing. And yeah, it's a little more expensive to do foil, but I think it's actually going to turn out incredibly well. I just wish I owned the original artwork, but hey, you can't have all of the things that you want all of the time. So shout out to Sam and John for reaching out to me and allowing me to sponsor this variant. I think it's really cool. This one is going to be available on the website, regiecollects.com, available for people to actually pick up if you're interested. I'm selling it only, I think, for $15. I think that's the price that's up there, $15. So not a crazy price for the variant or anything like that, even though it does cost a little bit more because of the shiny foil. I'm doing $15. It is on the website right now and available for people to check out if they are indeed interested. So let me go. You're right. It could be. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Congrats on the new variant. I didn't commission it, but it's actually a pretty cool one. I mean, I probably would have changed the sign in the background to say like, you know, Swoldiers only or something like that to kind of weave, you know, a little something personal into that. It is available right now. Available on regiecollects.com. Again, I think it's like $15. Now, I will give you some notes around this thing. It is actually not going to be available until September. The print run, Tina's like, yes, foil. She likes shiny things. It is not going to be available until I think September. So it is a pre-book. I'm not doing any CGC stuff right now in any way, shape, or form because I feel really bad about like what's happening with the gung-ho variants at CGC right now that are kind of in limbo. So I'm just doing straight raw copies right now of this thing for, I think, a relatively low price for a shiny variant with foil and all that kind of stuff. So $15. It's available now in September. What I've been told is that when things are ready, everything will be shipped to me like normal. And then I will then personally box everything up and ship out all the orders to everybody. So I think that pretty much covers up all the details. So needed to cover with the Swoldier. I'm telling you, man, one of these days, one of these really awesome independent writers / artists is going to integrate me and or the Comic Swoldiers and or the Gibbon Gang into a comic. I'm working here, people. We are going to have an appearance in a comic at some point. Fingers crossed that we can make it happen. We all know how, yeah. And I know you guys get it, but it still causes me a little angst occasionally. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that bought the variant that got the CGC, got the yellow label, blue labels, and people's money is in flux. And that just doesn't sit well with me. So thank you, Ariel. I'm glad you guys get it. But still, you know how it is. You know how I am. Yeah, man, I have books that are with CGC right now from January 5th. January 5th. That is my earliest order with them right now. So fingers crossed that something happens here soon. Foil is beautiful, but only downside is it's hard to keep it pristine for grading and getting that coveted 9.8. Potentially, I think, depending upon how they print it, we'll see. Depending upon how they print it. And again, what you'll remember, well, one of the things that I'm probably going to do is I try to only set, this is, I guess, another note. So thank you, Rylan, for this. I try to only offer up to people those books that are in the best shape. So if I'm selling a raw copy, I'm trying to sell you a near mint copy. I'm not sending you like an 8.0 that you pay for, right? So while the print run is limited to 500, what you'll see on the site is that I put a note there that the actual number of copies sold will probably be lower, because oftentimes what happens is that things are damaged when they're mailed to me. Like, you can lose a couple of hundred books, honestly, when things are sent via, UPS or FedEx, whoever it is. Things will come damaged, and then things sometimes are not printed perfectly. And so because of that, I tend to hold back those copies and only send out to people those copies that have been hand checked by me and look pretty good and that are as free of defects as possible, if that makes sense. And I'm not guaranteeing 9.8s. I won't do that, but I will try to get you the best possible copy for the money that you are actually spending. So, all right. Richard says he's got Strange Tales 169 that he's waiting for. Fingers crossed that you guys that you get it soon, brother. Fingers crossed that we all get our books soon. Let's put it that way. So because I do need to get myself back to work, I'm going to show the major key that I score one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of here. Here it is right here. ASM issue number 1, a 3.0 that I managed to score from the folks at Reese's Comics. And it's one of those things where, I knew I would get this book eventually. I never really thought that I would actually have two in my possession at the same time. So this is the original one that I bought a few years ago, bought it raw, sent it into CGC, and then boom, that happens. The purple label comes back, and never quite sat well with me. Even though it's a cool book to own. I've always wanted the blue label. I'm not a yellow label guy, not a green label guy, not a purple label guy. I like blue labels. And so I wanted to try to get one, and fingers crossed, or no, luckily I should say, I was able to score one. All right. So with that said, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. Who is this? I swear every year there are tens of thousands. Brother, they are doing the best that they can to help us create as many rare comics as they possibly can. Like mothers that throw away your comics when you're away at college, the United States Postal Service, UPS, FedEx are also doing their part to increase the value of the comics that are in your collection by damaging as many as possible. I am not into pedigree labels at all, man. Again, for me, and I was having this conversation with someone the other day. For me, I want to get the best possible book that I can afford at the best possible price. And so to that point, I try to focus on just regular blue labels, no yellow labels, no pedigrees, no signed books. I'm not that crazy about newsstands or any of that other stuff, because to me, those all represent premiums on top of what could be an already expensive book. And that is not to poo-poo or to say that what someone else is doing wrong, or to say that what someone is doing is wrong. Is simply to say, this is my personal preference, and that's all that it is. Because we have a buddy, Master Blaster, who is a Blue Wrench. He is in the process of collecting a lot of low number ASM books signed by Stan Lee. When he finishes that is going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing, and I'm going to celebrate with him when he does it. That is wonderful for him. That's not necessarily my journey. And again, that's one of the great things about this hobby, is that we can all like different things, and we can still celebrate one another's successes because we appreciate the journey that another collector is actually on. You know what I'm saying? So collect your newsstands, collect your yellow labels, collect whatever it is that floats your boat. Do that thing, man. Do that thing. Be happy. Enjoy this hobby. And let's just have a good time, man. Yeah, yes, indeed, that they are. Reggie, hey, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my man. I was trying to wrap this thing up, and you guys keep saying really good stuff that I just need to what is this? My postman is a collector. He collects parcels every. Oh my goodness, you guys are hilarious. All right, so again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit and celebrating this most recent book that I was able to pick up, Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1 at 3.0, and also allowing me to announce the fact that I've now rolled out another variant with the guys that are putting together Slow City Blues. This is a Roger Rabbit off the wall kind of comic indie funded thing that they are doing that I do believe is going to be turned into an animated series. Pat Olaf actually penciled the cover that I'm sponsoring. And, it's just a cool project. It's a cool project. Cannot wait to get my hands on the book, but all of the information regarding that variant is available on regiecollects.com. As always, guys, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram. I am not too hard to find. Take care.